I am the good one. I am the best. I do not care what those scientists say. They're wrong, 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 wrong. I am the good one, aren't I? I'm a nervous wreck. As long as I could remember, I've suffered from a constant paranoia. If you ask my parents, they tell you an entirely different story. According to them, I was calm, cool, and collected child. They say it wasn't until I was around 12 when I carried myself drastically changed. I don't remember much from way back then. I was walking home from a bar of my hometown of Toronto, Canada. I kept stumbling a bit as I was drunk that night and couldn't drive. Last December, a storm dumped 5 inches of snow on the town. Everything in sight was white and frosty. On my way home on the way to the post office, I saw a medium-sized cat, muscular and heavy for its appearance and size. Its ears were very large, open wide, and up straight, much like the ears of a bat. The eyes were set round with a slight slant of the upper corners, lemon-shaped almost my accounts. They widely set my eyes, and wide open roundness around the eyes of the cat can approachable. Friendly appearance, there was no specified color except for the eyes that I could see cheekbones. Meanwhile, I could compliment giving this breed a rangeless that brings mind of Egyptian cats love. The whiskers pads are full. They are not the least. They are not the pads of the feet. Also, I have described it as a potbelly. This is expected when a charmisculae of the cat should not be discouraged, especially the cat has a hearty appetite and a very high metabolism. As I approached the lamppost, I could see the distance from that as a sphinx. I couldn't help feeling worried about the situation. It was bitterly cold. The temperature was dipping into the negatives. The cat was pacing around the lamppost, almost desperately as if it was waiting for someone. I'm so tired. Where am I? I can't tell. It's a dark and wet and it's cold too. Too cold. I don't like it. And who is this? This feeling, why do I have it? Why do I suddenly feel so ice cold? Why am I even there? Concerned about this welfare, I decided to take it into my house and rehomed it comfortably. It wasn't as ideal as I ever had some sort of experience with pets before, but at least it would stop suffering in the cold. It would be provided with the food and the place to sleep. I cut the rope and tied it and took it in, and plastered the posters on the lampposts and fences around them, reading "Lost Cat Found." Additional contact digital details. The cat did not like to eat very much. When it did eat, however, it swallowed the whole thing in large chunks. This prompted me to cut the food up into smaller bits to prevent it from choking. During the day, it would pace around my house and jump on the furniture, meowing and purring. But during the night, it would always come into my room and sit right in front of my bed. It seemed to be a well-learned habit. If I didn't know it was in my bedroom, it would continuously scratch on the door until I gave in and opened it. On the first night, it stayed in my room. I was woken up to the sound. I wasn't sure whether it was actually scratching, digging, or dragging or scraping. I figured the source of the noise was probably my grandfather slowly dragging this scythe around the hardware floor, coming home from a helped hand of an old man McGrady from the hard work. I sat up a little and the noise stopped. I nearly had a heart attack when I saw it two green, shining eyes staring right at me from the darkness. They were wide open and glowed like philosophers. A heartbeat later, I calmed down a bit after realizing it was just a cat, but I felt extremely uncomfortable. Being pinned down by those eyes in the dead of the night, I lay down and tried my best to dismiss it, constantly eyeing the silhouette perching about my foot of my bed. Even though I felt like a coward for 5 years old, I didn't want to close my eyes, knowing it was another pair of eyes that was watching me as I slept. A half a minute later, the eyes relaxed a little, and I saw the Sphinx cat blinked and moved. It tried to stroll naturally around the safe room again. I brushed it off and went back to sleep, but every night or so later after that, I would wake up to that same fading dragging noise. Every time I woke up, I would find the cat staring straight at me, but then it would blink and be breaking eye contact and walk away. Once I realized it was unconscious, I found the behavior slightly strange, but I recognized it and just as shy. Just wanted to observe some more human behavior rather than fall in the snow for a change. Besides, cats are nocturnal animals, right? He looked so peaceful, like a human work of art. If only he had understood that he feel my pain. If only that he had stopped. If only he had quit. It's best to always stay the same. Humans are monsters, but somehow this one managed to comfort me. But why? Why did he love me? Why does he care? There's nothing more than a bad omen, a devil, a mistake. But at the same time, this one cared. The question is, how many more like him are out there? My house then came with a cat flap at the door, and the landlord had a cat. I could let his cat in and out of the house freely. It didn't attack the neighborhood pets or vandalize the property. It didn't bite people or bring the dead birds to or rats. It didn't even leave any the urine or defecate around the house. My cat was a good cat. It had been a month, but nobody had called him to claim the cat. I decided to legally make it mine and gave it a new name, Georgie. I wasn't sure whether Georgie was male or female, but it didn't matter much to me. The act for naming him or her itself counted as the bonding ritual, a gateway to a beautiful friendship between the two different species, forged by mutual care. From then on, Georgie was my source of comfort. When my exams weren't going well, when I was just having a bad day, or when I had an argument, I always tell Georgie, even though he was just a cat and probably don't understand the bull crap I was going through or even my language, that's just a matter of fact. I could always count on him to cheer me up. Things were getting around the time when Georgie had been taken in. I've been questioning everything I did because of this. I recognized the strange occurrences were due to my own carelessness. Some days when I arrived home, the door would be unlocked. It seemed odd, because I always locked the door when I went out, and rarely forgot to do so. I suspected a burglary, but my second guess was my often. Perhaps a burglar had gotten a hold of my spare keys, and I checked the garage, but they were not there as I put them. Furthermore, nothing had been stolen. Once I left $52 blankly visible on my desk, but they have not been taken. That's why I'm hesitant to call the police. The scariest thing greeted me when I got up one day. Oh, I feel sick. I have a headache. Is there more than that? Maybe something for humans? Maybe it worked for me too. I have the same emotions too, but I'm not too different from them. No, after all, no matter how much it pains me to say this for some sort of thing in the world. Someone's entering the home? That sick feeling got stronger. The person smells familiar. Is it a homeless man? No. It's not a homeless man. It feels too strange to be a homeless man. Wait, there's something in the air. It smells horrible. Putrid stench. It's too wet to be a homeless man. The air wasn't like garbage. There was a wet dog smell. Someone who owns a dog or has a job of walking dogs. That explains his stench, I guess. Wait, but if there is something behind all that, it's so familiar. It practically drills itself into my mind and into my fear, it seems. Where is he? Is he breaking in? There's something I shouldn't see? Why not? I'm strong enough to handle it. I'm strong enough to handle anything. A note was left beside my pillow, written in messy, screwy handwriting that I did not recognize. It read, "Get rid of your cat. It's not worth the pure." I suddenly panicked, wondering who it was, and all the windows had been locked tightly before I had gone to sleep, and I had locked the doors too. I checked everything twice. There wasn't anything but an intruder. Then I remembered that it was the only living thing in the house besides me, but surely Georgie couldn't have written it. Maybe it had just been my crazy imagination. Obviously, I knew cats don't know English and couldn't write. Was I dreaming, or was I going insane? You must be joking, I murmured to myself. But if it wasn't Georgie, then who was it then? Was I hallucinating? There was no evidence of a break-in. If I showed it to the police, they would just think I was an attention-seeking note forger who had nothing better to do than to prank them. But I was sure I had not written that note. There was no way out of this. Hours of sweat-dripping fear later, and checking in all the windows and doors had been locked multiple times, I told myself that I would play along with it, to give myself some comfort at least. If it was a dream, I would wake up and curse myself for being so stupid. But for now, I would believe it because I was the only explanation. I spoke to Georgie in English, feeling stupid. Don't scare me like that, okay, Georgie? You know I'm a faint of a heart. He just meowed back. He wasn't going to communicate verbally very well he's a cat after all. So I figured it would be easier if I wrote the message on the back of the paper. It would allow some distance. Who are you? Why are you telling me to get rid of Georgie? I wrote it because I left it beside my bed. Until the next day, I was helping my dad pull fishing nets on the boat. I finally grew the balls to tell him about the incident with the break-in. He asked if I was alright, and I told him about the letter, and that I thought Georgie must have wrote it. He paused for a moment, and then he smiled, and then he starts laughing. I didn't know why was my father having a laugh of it. Haha, good one, son. You really thought a cat of yours would have written that letter? Everyone knows that cats don't have thumbs, but really, who wrote that letter? Dad, it's the truth. I found it on my pillow yesterday. He then looked at me dead in the eyes, with a puzzled look. You feeling alright? 'Cause you're telling a bunch of weird tales. I knew it was no use, but he'll never believe me. I thought my parents would listen as kids, but I was strong. I was on my own now. Matthew? 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 Matthew. The name was so easy as it rolls on the tongue as it easy to say of mine. I could feel it burning in my brain. I know the name. Why do I know that name? Someone had convinced my cat that was trying to kill me, but I believed that it was what the asshole says. As long as he stays the hell away from Georgie, we'll be safe. But he keeps telling me the emails saying that cats carry toxoplasma gondii, that Georgie is trying to control me through the brain parasite. I screamed at my computer monitor, telling all those anti-cat people to leave us alone, and then threw my computer violently across the room, breaking into pieces. No, 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 no! No, 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 no. I remember now. I don't remember this. I refuse to believe that it was just a bad omen. I have emotions. I have thoughts. I had to surface this. Of course, I believed in them. I believed in those stupid humans and that they carried. I am as stupid as them for believing I carried. They are nothing about my life. They are not scientists. They're vipers of all of them. It had been days now, and everything went dead silent, and all the threatening emails and letters have stopped. I don't know how long it's been, but I reassure that it wasn't long before I move out of this house and move to another country. I'm packing up my stuff now. This place is filled with hatred. Every night I see people outside my home, glare through my window with those devil-looking eyes. I can't stay. I have to go. It's the only way for Georgie to stay safe. But what if it follows me to my new home? What if something bad happens to Georgie? And now, how could I prove anyone that is stalking me? How? I remember now, so wildly. But no matter how many times I run through my head, it seems like a story. I am Georgie. I am myself. I'm not a demon. I realize I'm pushing my owner's dear limits, but I don't care. It's better if someone knows what I'm thinking. I have to get out. I put the pen to my anger. I can't hold it back much longer. I'm officially done giving a damn. I'm the good one. I'm the best. I do not care. I care not what the scientists say. They're wrong, 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 wrong. I am the good one, aren't I? No matter how many times I say it, I can't convince myself it's true. And that, my little pretties, was I Am Not a Demon, a creepypasta written by the Dark Cat. My final thoughts on this story? Okay, you probably have noticed that during the title, like, no, well, not the title, but like the, tone of my voice that I was reading this. I'm gonna say right now, I had a really rough moment not too long ago with my mother. I'm not gonna go into detail, but I'm just gonna say that me and her got into an argument, and I'm just, I'm just done with the arguments with her. Like, really am. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm not gonna, say what happened or anything or how the argument started because, well, it's kind of personal. So I'm just gonna say, I just had a meltdown a little bit. I almost broke down to tears. I was just very frustrated. But anyway, let's get on with the story. I actually found this story to be rather good. It was a really well made story, even though it's fiction, I definitely have to say. And it's on the longest pasta wiki. Oh my goodness. Well, I have seen some other longer pastas. Like, I think the longest one was Playtime is Over, and that's the story the Shadow Reader narrated and he wrote on his channel. So if you guys want to check that out, I highly recommend you do so. It's a good story. Like, with this story, I could definitely say it's about a person, who owns a cat and thinking that his cat is like doing all this stuff. I have a feeling that the protagonist in this story might be hallucinating, which I have no doubt that this would be the case. It's actually really believable. I could actually say that the story itself was absolutely quite amazing, but also it was pretty freaky at the same time because, I found it freaky, having to sit there, with the letters being written on saying get rid of your cat and stuff. Here's one thing. I have two cats in my house. Well, I did have five, but they slowly decreased, died of old age, cancer, and etc. Well, I could definitely say that this one was actually a really well made story. Now, if you guys are asking me about why I decided to read it, well, even though this is the very first pasta, I believe that's what the Dark Cat wrote. I have to say, Dark Cat, that this one was actually a really well made story. Like, not bad for a very long story, to be honest. Not bad for a first time when you do this creepypasta. It's pretty cool, I definitely have to say. Now, Sphinx cats are pretty interesting creatures, I'm gonna be honest. I definitely have to say, Dark Cat, this story was actually pretty good, and I have to say, you did a pretty good job with this story. I definitely have to say, there was a lot of time and effort into the story, so that's definitely one thing I could definitely say that I really do like, is that the story itself, this is actually pretty believable. And I can definitely say that, I definitely have to say that this story was actually pretty cool in many ways. I definitely have to say, the grammar was good, I'm going to be honest. The sentence structure was well made. The storyline was great, and everything about it was just flat out amazing. Like, I definitely have to say, Dark Cat, you did a pretty good job. Even though if this was your first story, you did a pretty good job. That's definitely something I have to say. It's a really good story, in my opinion. It's a really good one. And I do have to say, this story was absolutely quite awesome. It's a quite awesome story, I have to say there. I really do have to say. Well, if I could see anything negative about this story, you guys are asking. I don't have anything negative to say about this story. Surprisingly, I don't. I honestly found this story to be quite amazing and quite good. Now, I do appreciate the good sentence structuring and the storyline. It's pretty good. And I could actually see this, being just as good as I can say right now. You did a pretty good job right there, Dark Cat. I definitely have to say. You did a pretty good job right here. And that's a very good positive that I do have to say, is that I actually say that this story was actually pretty interesting. And really good too. Okay. I guess I kind of want to wrap up the review because, I have to say, Dark Cat, this one was actually a good story. And I have to say, the fact that this person's not a demon, he's proclaiming he's not, I wonder if he secretly is. Well, in this, it kind of does make a little sense, but I could definitely say that the story was just absolutely amazing and very well made too. Like, that's definitely one of the reasons why I decided to read this, because this is actually pretty good. Now, I'm going to say right now that this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be a 10 out of 10. The grammar was good, I can definitely say that. The sentence structure was good, paragraph structure was amazing, and the storyline was just absolutely amazing. Like, I could definitely say there's a lot of great concept to the story, but, I actually say this story was absolutely amazing. So, I definitely have to say, really good job there. I definitely have to say that, Dark Cat, I really hope you make more of these stories, because I would really like to see more of those. And I would like to Oh, bless me. Pardon me for that, but I would also really like to see more of that other stuff. So I really hope you can make more stories like this. It's really well done. So, anyways, what did you all think about this story? Did you all enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what have you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Queen of Lions. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. If you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell to when I upload so that you guys won't miss an upload. And as always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here. And I will be seeing you all in the next video. Yet again, I do apologize that about what why my voice was kind of tone of it was a little different. It's just because I had an argument earlier. But other than that, I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace out, and I will see you all in the next video.